So it seems perfectly fitting that it would be here that I announce that I am a candidate for President of the United States of America.
And that is how former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee formally announced his intention to seek the GOP presidential nomination in 2016 from his hometown of Hope, Arkansas. Time to talk politics now with our political roundtable. We have got GOP strategist Clint with Impact Management Group, Janelle Lilley, KATV's lead Capitol reporter, and Democratic strategist, Talk Business and Politics contributor Michael Cook. Welcome to everybody.
Thank you for having us.
All right, Janelle, I'm coming to you first because you had the glory and the great opportunity to go to Hope, Arkansas on Tuesday and be there for it. I have described it to several people as it felt a little bit like watching church on TV from where I was. You had a prayer.
Baptist flair a little bit.
You had some singing. And then you had a 30-minute sermon by a preacher. So, I mean, was it a religious experience or a political experience?
You know, it might have been a little bit of both, depending on who you talk to. I did speak to a lot of folks after the announcement who said one of the reasons they actually came there was because they remember Huckabee as a Baptist pastor, and that's what they want to see in the White House. So whether or not he's intentionally playing to the evangelical crowd, they were there supporting him. I interviewed about half a dozen people, and all of them at least brought it up, whether it's in full or in part, for the reason for them getting behind him. So it was definitely a crowd pleaser. I think he was playing to the crowd that was there, if that's the feeling that you got from it. I mean, I will say, though, that he ran the gamut when it came to that speech. He touched on, I leaned over to Alicia Dover, who was there, and I was like, I think we just heard his entire platform. Yeah. Like, it was a little bit of everything, you know, and each paragraph was something else. And so it was certainly a wide breadth of categories that were addressed in the speech.
All right, Michael and Clint, doesn't hurt that he played to his social conservative, Christian conservative base at all. But let's talk about what has to happen for Mike Huckabee to break out of the pack in 2016. He is not the long shot that he was in 2008, 2007, 2008. He's certainly not a shoe-in to win the nomination. It's kind of middle of the pack in my estimation, Clint.
Well, I think the evangelical focus that you saw in his announcement is very important for him. If you look at places like Iowa and South Carolina and you get to the Republican, bloc states that I think are going to be very important to him, that he did very well in 2008. I think there was very much the reason why you had the biblical focus. That's going to be very important to him. And I think at the end of the day, people underestimate him, but I think people are also underestimating the GOP list of candidates. Much different than it was in 2008. The super PACs are going to make things, I think, a little more positive for Huckabee. I think there will be some super PACs that support him, but I think what you have to remember is every other one of these candidates are going to have significant super PACs too. I'm not sure 08's going to, or 16 is going to be that much different than 08 for Huckabee. I still think he's got to play the long game. I'm not sure the money's going to be there ultimately.
Michael Cook, what do you think?
I think he is a long shot candidate. Actually, even more so this time than he was in 2008, because in 2008 he came out of nowhere. I mean, in terms of the nation, they weren't ready for him, and so he caught everybody by surprise. Yeah. Now people are ready for him. In fact, I think the Club for Growth is already running TV ads against him in one of the states.
In Iowa and in South
Carolina.
Iowa
and South Carolina. I mean, for him to get anywhere, he basically has to win Iowa. If he doesn't win Iowa, then he's kind of left out of the pack because, as Clint was talking about, this is a much stronger field than it was in 2008. I mean, you have Marco Rubio, Scott Walker, Jeb Bush. Those are the top tier. Rand Paul and Ted Cruz. I mean, these are strong GOP candidates.
So you say he's got to win Iowa. This to both of y'all. I don't think he has to win Iowa. I think he has to do well in Iowa. I think he's got to be in the top tier in there. So, I mean, if you've got 14 candidates on the GOP side, maybe Mike Huckabee's got to finish 1, 2, or 3, and there can't be more than a percentage point difference between 1, 2, or 3.
If you're below 3 in Iowa, you've got to take some serious consideration.
And I think even 3 is pushing it.
Yeah,
if you're not.
But you can skip New Hampshire, jump straight to South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Now, if you go 2, 3, 4 in South Carolina, you go into places like Florida. It's going to be really hard to get to those block of southern states. Ultimately, I think he's got to piece it together. I think the money's going to be important. It's the long game for him. It's not the short game. It's the long game, and I think it's going to be critical.
But if he does well enough in the first few contests, I think that at least pushes the money a little bit more in his direction so he can keep that campaign going a little bit
A
longer.
little bit. I just don't think there's enough oxygen this time around. I think that you have too many
16
powerful.
candidates?
Yeah, but 3 of them are really. I mean, they're Scott Walker and Rubio and Jeb Bush.
is going to raise $100 million.
I mean, these are 3. I mean, I am impressed with these 3 gentlemen. So that's going to be much tougher for Huckabee to try to break through those
We
gentlemen.
have it on tape. Michael Cook impressed with 3 GOP
they're
candidates
gonna
for
be-
president
they're all
right now.
gonna
I
be
can already see this
yeah.
playing back in a TV commercial right now. All right, Clint Reed, Janelle, Lilley, Michael Cook, stick around. We got another segment. We're going to make some political predictions when we come back. I'm Roby Brock. This is Talk Business and Politics. We're back after the break. All right, and welcome back to Talk Business and Politics. Our political roundtable continues for this final segment right here. We've got Clint Reed, Janelle Lilley, and Michael Cook. All right, political predictions. And to steal everybody's thunder, I'm going first because I'm the host of the show. So my political prediction is that we will see 2 special sessions in this year, one on healthcare reform, one on an economic development super project, and I predict that the economic development super project may happen as early as this month, May.
Yeah, I agree.
All
I
right.
think those are pretty safe predictions.
Safe predictions.
Yeah.
Nobody said that publicly anywhere. So.
Softball
All right,
predictions.
Michael Cook.
You know, kind of piggybacking off our last segment, I predict a year from this month, Huckabee won't be in the race, at least as a credible candidate. He may be still hanging on for the Arkansas primary, but he won't be on the ticket.
Not going to be a player. Janelle Lilley.
All right, I predict that we're going to see more in the Milligan story continuing on. I've heard of some other reporters who are looking into some transactions that they're not sure about, so we'll see how that goes.
Michael Cook says that Dennis Milligan's been the gift that keeps on giving for Democrats there.
It's like
I don't
a dream
know if
come
that
true.
mounts to a comeback for Democrats or not, but I do think that there will be some more too. It's a good prediction.
I'm going to go a little different direction. I think with the reauthorization of the Patriot Act and what we're seeing with foreign policy, I think Senator Cotton becomes a serious candidate for vice president, ultimately a serious candidate for Secretary of Defense in the next administration.
Oh, a big one there. You're assuming in the next administration it's going to be a Republican administration.
I think that's a given.
All right. Clint Reed, Janelle Lilley, Michael Cook, thanks for y'all being here. I appreciate you very much.
Yeah, thank you.